Hey everyone.
Yeah.
It's okay, just close the doors, please. Go, 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 go. Watch your show. Hey everyone, how is everyone doing on this Wednesday night? Alright, I'm actually doing my podcast in the side room, which is sort of my office, right? You can see the window, you can see the lights outside. Can you see the river? How is everyone doing, huh? My wife was watching that show which I've been watching too. It's called The Lost. It's an old show, but great, fucking amazing show. So that's why I'm doing podcast here. What's going on, everyone? Okay, so we're trying to book like the what do you call the tea times? The golf for this Saturday, and we did book the Staten Island golf course is one of them. And the thing is that I had to first take my wife to a range, and that golf course has a range because she needs to basically practice few like hits, maybe 15, 20 minutes before she gets on the course, right? And I think we're going to just play 9 holes because I still have remnants of sciatica. All right, and the weather actually is not very conducive. Now there might be rain Saturday, and it seems like this is a rainy weekend, thunderstorms, But weather is what it is. What can you do? I mean, if it becomes too bad, then we'll just leave, right? Or maybe we won't go. Um, yeah, that what we were doing, and I have been kind of depressed, and I was just you know sort of, I think, in my mind, sort of, I think it's the work stress or something. And obviously it's not a good thing. I have to get up and I have to go to work and pay the bills, right? Bill the clients, pay the bills. And I don't know. I mean, this morning I was trying to basically get up and I was trying to get back into my dreams to see if the universe is trying to tell me or my mind is trying to tell me something, some vision I might have. I have no fucking idea. But when you have a lifestyle, or had one actually, before my wife came here, right? Because it just takes me back to like why the fuck I'm still a cog in the wheel, or like a robot, and I had to do this, and but then, okay, so if you don't want to do engineering, and that's your bread and butter, so what vision are we talking about? So that's this whole thing with my I think sort of burnout. But I think everybody gets the burnout. I just have to like get out of that fucking mindset, and we actually did go to a friend's place. His family invited us, along with other two couples, for this Saturday, actually, not Saturday, I'm sorry, not Sunday, actually, newly wedded couples. And the other thing that actually, hold on a second, please. Somebody's calling me. Shah is calling me. Why? All right, I'll call him back. Uh, so in any case, he's one of the contractors, actually, a family, a friend, But in any case, so we went there, we had a good time, an old guy from the mountains where we grew up together. He was like a senior in middle school, high school. And then sort of like I also became sort of like this depressed kind of like brick, sort of like non-imaginary, whatever, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but like after that, I realized that, listen, I'm kind of their age, although they're, these people with families and kids, and their kids are grown up. I don't have any, and that also kind of just like depressed me, I mean, because not every friend of mine who is here, but from mountains, every one of my cousins, every one of my back in the day friends, they have married early and they have kids. Here, I just felt like I sometimes I do feel like I wasted time, and now, first of all, I got married late, and living alone for such a long time, being a fucking lunatic. I did whatever I could. Now, my wife is here, so I think just the the thought of like not having something or being behind, the fucking universe, that somehow makes me, like, oh, remember the show Keeping Up with the Joneses, whatever the fuck the name of the show was. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm not talking about in terms of money and all that. I mean, I'm on fucking government loan, right? But just I feel like I didn't do like those, and now I feel kind of like regret in my life, that makes me depressed, sort of. When I think I should be more grateful. I mean, whether burnout or not, yeah, burnout, everybody gets the fucking burnout, but just trying to be more grateful and trying to be, you know, more accepting of the current situation I'm in, and be happier now that my wife is here. I'm not alone. All right. So I'm just doing a little bit of like psychotherapy on myself. I'm sorry, regardless of having kids or not, you have to basically, live for yourself and your significant other, and then your extended family, and the whole nine. Right. I just somehow, sometimes I just fall into a black hole, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this world, and I'll blame the fucking world, and I'll blame myself for time wasted, and the whole thing. And then, so what's the solution? I think the solution is that if you listen to somebody like Joe Rogan, the guy disciplined himself from the beginning, through martial arts and all that, right? Self, what do you call, the control and all that. And I'm not saying that I have, that problem, but if I have basically lived like that, alone, and just being out every fucking weekend, which I don't do anymore. Fridays, yeah, and then and again, without repeating myself, I'm not going to basically stay out late, and that's the promise I make to my wife. All right. But in any case, so what is the point here? I'm trying to make the point. I'm trying to make is that you have to basically, regardless of your mistakes in the past and shortcomings or whatever, the society fucked you over, life fucked you over, right? And that's true. It does. It can. Not much people, but just life in general. And being in a place like New York and up here is just everybody has some issue, and then even just going into the city or getting into the fucking traffic, and the whole thing is just like living in a metropolis. I mean, I'm glad that I'm not even living in Jersey City where my office is, because that has become the third metropolis concrete jungle, or fourth after Manhattan, right? And Brooklyn and Long Island City. And me and my wife are actually walking in our condo complexes today, by the canal. Looks like fucking Italy, right? At least, we are living away from all that fucking noise, except for the Sims factory here, right? And you can see the lights outside my window. Those are basically the lights from the fucking factory, all right? The Sims, the scrap metal factory, and that's the fucking noise, So regardless of all those things that have happened or not have happened, who said that when you're at your deathbed, things that you have done, those are not more regretful than things you haven't done. All right. So do whatever you need to do now. All right. I'm not saying that you go rob a fucking bank or just basic things that you wanted to do in life, but you couldn't, right? And some of the things maybe you can't. I can't. I say about me getting the private pilot license and all that in the jazz, right? But I don't know. Should I get the fucking classes for vertical takeoff machines? Because the future, hopefully near future, is the personal flight, right? Personal flying cars, all right? And maybe I should just dedicate my life towards, I don't know. Don't, Sir, don't. Please. Okay? You're going to say something that you can't do, you can't even, materialize anything, and then you're going to say, oh, shit, you know what? I'm just going to have that as another fucking regret in my life, all right? Oh, what are you going to do? You're going to go to fucking Arkansas and be part of the revolution of, personal flight? Are they still doing it? Because the Arkansas government had an initiative, all right? But in any case, so that is true. That is going to happen, all right? Just like the Ford Model T, whatever the fuck those cars came onto the roads, right, in New York and Detroit, Michigan, and and all those places, right? And that was the end of the horse buggies and the horse shit. And getting back to what the fuck I was trying to say before was that I have to basically put my own, everybody has to, including myself first, obviously, put myself in my head above the fucking water, whatever depression I fall into, right? And and be more logical. And, just if I fall into the black hole, I just have to basically get up, shake my clothes, and move on, right? That's the whole point. That's unless, it's like, man, I can't even get out of the fucking mindset. Then that's a different story, right? I'm not there yet, all right? But, and I don't want to, fall behind things, The biggest achievement for me, and I love my wife, and she loves me too, and we have this relationship. So at least she gives me that support and whatever else she can, right? Although it has been only a couple of months for her to be here, 2 months. And I have to be there for myself and for her, right? So that's I think that's the basic. That's the basic of, okay, man, why don't you just start every second, every minute of the present from that second and minute without fall back into the abyss of the past or the regrets of whatever the fuck, right? And then, in the past couple of days, I've been thinking about, yes, a construction industry here, especially in New York and in this area, is very demanding, and you have to churn out the, blueprints and whatever else you have to get to your clients. And sometimes that can be stressful, because it's a very fast-paced, sort of like the industry, architecture, engineering, construction, right? And so that's what I've been doing for the past, in this country, for the past, 23 years, And sometimes I feel like maybe I'm done doing all this, right? But I can't. I still have to basically, get the food on the table, get, whatever bills. I had to pay the bills, I had to pay the family, right? Mortgage, our expenses, So, and then what else do you have as far as skills, sir? You cannot start a new profession. So related to my own profession, I think maybe that's the vision I'm talking about. That maybe the universe is trying to tell me something, And I'm hoping that it gives me that vision and gives me that fucking direction. I wanted to go into, one was this, like solar systems, but I don't have any experience of like solar system installations. Yeah, I can do the engineering and all that, right? So I guess the bottom line in terms of that point is that the less stress in life is better. The less stress, the more satisfying your life is, all right? Whatever. Stress can be from your relationship, your fucking job, and anything, right? So all those things can actually make you think, especially when you get to my age, make you rethink your, your place in the world, all right? And after, my age, after you hit the 50, you don't want to be in a situation which is stressful, or don't create stressful situation for others either, all right? So that was that whole idea that, listen, man, I've been doing this, and I just do this every fucking week, every fucking month, and it seems like I'm not making any progress, in terms of like, okay, so is there anything better, any bigger projects, or blah blah blah? Am I going to hit the jackpot? I'm not going to hit the fucking jackpot. All right, there's no fucking jackpot. All right, but the enthusiasm, all right, enthusiasm, and stamina, and motivation, the inclination to basically seek, a better project, that also sort of like becomes less, or it diminishes, with age, because they're like, you know what, I have enough for me, and let's say my wife to survive, without being really poor, or without being even, what do you call, any rich. I mean, that happens, as you age, you just like, oh man, what the fuck am I doing this for? I don't have any energy, I don't have any energy to seek, I don't know. All those things happen early in our lives. And when you could come to this country at the age of 28, you have to learn a lot of things, as if you start from square one, right? A lot of things, I didn't get a lot of guidance, or I didn't look into that. And I just basically went with the fucking flow, working for the companies and really not looking into like, side things. I don't know, like comedy, I say, right? Or whatever the fuck, right? I should have pursued. But I think I'm going to actually, as the weather declines, I mean, now weather is getting better. When I say weather declines, I mean when it gets colder. I think I'm gonna get on the fucking mic. All right, open mics. Let's see where that goes. All right. I've been saying this for ages, but I haven't really done it, except from a few times, right? And I don't know. I think I become negative too much. That's what it is, Instead of saying, hey man, glass is half full. All right? Instead of saying glass is half empty, why don't you say glass is half full? All right? And be a little more positive, and don't like let your mind fall into that fucking abyss, right? And that's not good for you, for your job, for your relationship. All right. So this is like, I'm sorry, this is like my self therapy. All right, sort of. And maybe I should write these down. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just too lazy to write things down, unless it's for work, for my clients' projects or something else. Otherwise, I'm just too fucking lazy to basically, write something for my own reminders. No. Especially us guys, we don't do this. We don't do this from the beginning, and then it just becomes a fucking, like habit of, not taking care of ourselves and just going with the flow, and the other part when I say that, oh yeah, the life can fuck you up, is that pretty much you have to basically own your life. You have to basically seek whatever you need to seek, but have some good friends, all right? Close, not many, close, some good friends. And so you can basically confide your, what do you call, your, sort of like, not every aspect of your life, but you can have that shit. Could happen. that sharing of your joys and sorrows. Obviously, you have to do that first with your significant other, right? But we don't talk about these things, and then sometimes just we realize that, oh, you know what, this is just what it is, all right? This is what it is, and I'm going to be angry, or I'm going to be like fucking, depressed for a day, and then the next day I'll be fine, right? And so these things late in life can affect you, which I'm realizing now, hitting the nail on the head. No, that's not what I want to say. Okay, so trying to find what the fucking underlying issue is, right? And I'm not talking about, you do a real psychotherapy on yourself, and you're like, oh man, why are you doing this? Why are you so depressed? Why are you not, even, one of these days you are just basically shut in your own fucking room. You are, what is it, right? Shit like that. What's going on?
I'm playing tennis with this.
All right, so you should go to the courses, our courses here.
Yeah.
And find somebody who can actually play with you. I don't want to play. I play tennis, but I just want to stay with golf, princess. All right. But you have been a sportswoman, all right? So you can play, I think.
Yeah, I played tennis for 2 years. I mean,
there you go.
when I
That's
was in
it.
Peshawar,
That's it.
I used to play.
Yeah, I did play when I was young
go
too.
to women's club in Peshawar.
Yeah, and with my sciatica, you think I can play tennis? I can barely play golf.
I won't recommend it.
All right, everyone. So this is like my half an hour podcast. I can do a whole hour podcast. Maybe if I have some time over the weekend, I will do a whole hour podcast. But I'm sorry, I apologize that this became some sort of a psychotherapy, self-therapy, more than like whatever else I usually talk about on my podcast. Right? I don't have any fucking agendas. I just talk about whatever is happening in my life, all right? And in the world, I don't fucking idea what the fuck is happening in the world. I mean, everybody knows, all right? Nothing is basically blowing up, so don't worry about that. Climate is fine too. Everything is good, all right?
Watch Netflix.
So just watch a show and be happy, all right? Be happy. In whatever happiness you can find in your life, that's what it is. And I'm just basically telling myself, all right? So I know my wife is like laughing at me, and I hope.
Pursuit of Happiness,
What?
You should watch movie The Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh, that's gonna probably make me more depressed. But
We will watch it together.
okay. But we have been watching this show, like I said, Lost, and it's a great show. I started it at some point in time in the past. Then the first season was like, oh, this is about a fucking plane crash, and then people have just like been lost on a fucking whatever place, an island, South whatever Pacific, right? And I'm like, I don't want to fucking watch this. But then it became more interesting as we watched it. All right?
Yeah.
The other shows that I want to watch with my wife, obviously she loves, sort of like the quasi science fiction, which is also kind of my genre, because I don't like the fucking family dramas and all that bullshit. Huh?
We are watching that show,
What show?
Friends.
Oh, John Hamm has a new show, actually. That's a great one. Friends and Neighbors and whatever. Just watch it too, all right? I'm okay. And
it's a drama, actually.
And then there are a bunch of movies actually coming up now. I'm looking forward to. Did we watch a movie? Hey,
I think
any movie?
from last 1 week, no. We watched movies, but not in last week, I think.
Yeah. So, uh, I think the new ones are coming up in May. I think it's Tom Cruise's new movie, the Mission Impossible last one. Is that coming up? I think it's coming in June. And etc. etc. Right? I mean, that's our life. We don't have any other, more interesting activities. I mean, if you're gonna play golf, hopefully it doesn't fucking rain on us. And that's it. Oh, so I'll just end my podcast again on
Sunday
this
we want
thought.
to play pool or bowling.
Yes, oh, she wants to play bowling,
Bowling, yes.
which I actually know. I don't like. I hate bowling. Bowling is good for the first 10 minutes, and after that it becomes so fucking boring. Same thing. You throw the ball, it's the same thing. Same thing.
Pool.
No. Pool is different. All right. Pool is strategic.
Oh.
All right. Well, in any case, so I'll just end my podcast again on this thought. Hopefully, I'll get a vision, and let's see if the universe helps me find another fucking sort of like, within my own career. And obviously, my wife is also looking for her own, career a job in her career, but it has been only two months for her, so it will take time. All right. And she has to get her license, and she's working on that. Hopefully, she passes the test.
Yeah. This time, yes.
And driving license. All right. And then we'll talk about the flying saucers. What did I say? Flying cars are not flying saucers. On my next podcast. All right. So I presume you all are having a great start of the week, middle of the week. See you all next week. Jesus.